And here it is. We do it again. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. We are doing it again. Here I am again. One man went to mow. It's in situation. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Gather round to your devices. Tell Amina to tell Amaka to bring Folashade that the one man went to mow session has started. No time to stand and linger. Not a moment to miss of it. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. And he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele maduche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 it's another Savior. Getting it right and getting it faster now. Holy, 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 it's another Savior. Holy, holy, getting it right, faster, for freedom. It's another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. And he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele maduche mefo.
And there it is right there. Holy, holy. The farmyard singers from the eastern part of Nigeria. Holy, holy, as guys, I bring you this. Aregbesola backs Osinbajo as Southwest splits between Tinubu and the vice president. So is the song over and the dance over as the DJ started to pack his equipment? And is it now time for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to get his coat and head home? It looks as though all manners of everything weighed against him, getting that his soul desires. So we all have ambitions unfulfilled, and we all try to pack it in just that is how life goes. You win some and you lose some, and it looks as though in this instance, the victory is not going his way. So is it time for him to read the smoke signals and make a dignified exit? Aregbesola backs Osinbajo as Southwest split between Bola Tinubu and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. So there it is right there. But he is not going down without a fight, that's for sure. But all the smoke signals, all the writings are on the wall. Even within his own quarters, TVC makes a U-turn, quickly deletes tweet poll after Osinbajo topples Tinubu. So all manners of everything is telling us that what the Nigerian space and the APC space is wanting is Osinbajo and not Tinubu. Is Tinubu deserving? There's an argument for that. As he worked hard for it, there is an argument for that. Would it be unfair if he doesn't get it? Some will say so. But whatever, however, if and buts, the sum totality of it is that the space has turned against this guy. But is he going to cling on to the bitter end? It's looking likely. TVC makes U-turn, quickly deletes Twitter poll after Osinbajo toppled Tinubu. So it's quite ugly to see, really. When Obasanjo brutalized ATIKU, I saved him. I was there when Yar'Adua chased RIBADU with an axe. So this is Tinubu now. If he doesn't get it, it's going to smash up the whole place. I won't be surprised if they take this guy down because he's getting quite erratic and totally out of control. And there are so many secrets of the Nigerian state that is held within his palms. So is he going to smash up the whole thing? Or are they even going to take him down before he gets the chance to do that? When Obasanjo brutalized ATIKU, I saved him. I was there when Yar'Adua chased RIBADU with an axe. So that's Tinubu now, out to take everybody down if he doesn't get his way. 20 million Nigerians fail to come for voters' card collection. Electoral body INEC laments ahead of 2023 elections. So those voters' cards are already registered for and probably printed as well, but they have not been collected is the crucial thing. So if they don't collect it, that doesn't mean they don't use it. So does this open another portal for rigging for Mahmoud Yakubu is what you have to question. Because you have to question everything with Mahmoud Yakubu, of course, especially after what we saw, just the most audacious of riggings in the history of mankind, 2019. So anything and everything possible with this fella. So these people now that are registered but not collecting their cards, you don't want your card in the hand of Mahmoud Yakubu because it will max out your credit. 20 million Nigerians failed to come for voters' card collection. Electoral body INEC laments ahead of 2023 elections. So quite what that means and how that permutates, we find out shortly. Details of Osinbajo's meeting with APC chairman, 5 governors emerge. So here it is now. The calibrations on who gets to be the president of Nigeria is taking place in quiet corners as Tinubu continues to straddle the streets, screaming and shouting like a madman. The serious people carrying on with serious business. Details of Osinbajo's meeting with APC chairman, 5 governors emerge. So what quite went down there, we'll find out shortly. And this is a story that we've been trailing on this platform. So we give you the latest installment in terms of development. OKADA riders sue Lagos state government. So in the last installation, they told us that they would take the law as has been presented by the state government. But it looks as though they've gotten the signals from Aso Rock that no, we are ready to take Lagos state. So that moved them to seize Lagos state, being led by the OKADA riders from Sudan and Chad. OKADA riders sue Lagos state government. So quite what they are predicating that sued upon? We'll find out shortly. Crime but no punishment. This is the narrative of the Nigerian space. Crime but no punishment. Crime but no punishment. Suspended EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu decorated as AIG. AIG, of course, as Assistant Inspector General of Police. So for the worthy task of being suspended for fraud, this guy gets promoted. So this is what goes on within the Nigerian space. Suspended EFCC chairman, and don't be surprised though when they bring Abba Kyari back to make him the police chief. Suspended EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu decorated as AIG. So there it is right there, rotten to the core. So rotten to the core. Okay, so let's sum it up there. So that will be the totality of it. It is the afternoon session, and it's usually a shorter session. So let's sum it up there. The usual go-tos that we've been going to just before we proceed with anything. All of you that come here, you know how hard we are pushing for the like buttons. So we are still pushing for that like button. So if you are on the stream, then please click on the like button. You see the target there, 150 people. I'm sure we have that before the end of the session, but you take us on the way to that. 150 likes from 56 people. So do the mathematics yourself. So everybody's thumbs up is what I'm saying. Click on like. And if you're not already subscribed to the platform, correct that immediately as well. So as you're clicking on the like, click on the subscribe as well. And if you want to come and join me on the screen, you can click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So this is at your discretion. This one you'll click on only if you feel like. So click on like and subscribe, and at your leisure, click on go at your discretion, click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So as we said about the clicking, let me provide you with a little bit of a liquid nourishment. Your calabash to the ready as we join the guides.
Water, only water, only water, where they see my water. Hapa o naido, Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Hobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chief pilot kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wà gbéṣe o.
Excuse me, pardon me. So it's like that scene in the Game of Thrones when they were all lining up one by one to insert a stab knife with a sharp, to insert a stab rather with a sharp knife. So the insertion of stabs with sharp knives, the victim, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Aregbesola backs Osinbajo as Southwest split between Bola Tinubu and Vice President. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, is reportedly backing the presidential bid of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. It was gathered that Aregbesola, a former Osun governor, won't back the ambition of his former. Let me take that entirely all over again. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, is reportedly backing the presidential bid of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. It was gathered that Aregbesola, a former Osun governor, won't back the ambition of his former political mentor, Bola Tinubu. Correspondent reports that Aregbesola and Tinubu are rumored to be at loggerheads over the running of Osun State. What do you mean rumored? This was an open fight that they played out in the public space, so it's not rumored. We all know. A source familiar with the APC campaign in the Southwest told correspondents that all Aregbesola boys are now working for Tinubu. He claimed that the problem, that should be again, shouldn't he? He claimed that the problem Tinubu has in the region was caused by Aregbesola, the source said. What most people do not also know is that it was Rauf Aregbesola that caused most of the issues people had with Tinubu. They have seen for themselves that Tinubu was not as bad as being portrayed by Aregbesola then. You know, Tinubu had tremendous respect for Aregbesola. He believed in his judgment. So even when Tinubu does not sanction some of the things he does, people will conclude that because of the free will Tinubu has given to him, he was carrying out Tinubu's assignment, and that was how he created a problem for the man. I am sure Tinubu's eyes have been opened. Aregbesola is working for Osinbajo. There is no doubt about it, because all his boys are working for Osinbajo. The campaigns for Tinubu are going on good and well coordinated. Speaking further, the source stated that the Southwest region and its leaders are split between Tinubu and Osinbajo. The source said, you know, there was a meeting of the Southwest leaders and the possibility of a consensus was discussed, but it didn't scale through. As I speak with you, former Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amosun has aligned with the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and that also prompted Dapo Abiodun to align with Tinubu. Now, from the body language of Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, he will step down for Tinubu. Rotimi Akeredolu and Tinubu have mended their relationship. So this is the divide, of course, that will ultimately cost the Yoruba whatever slim chance they have at that seat. But he is not going to give up, of course, Tinubu. I think we can all be rested in that assurance. TVC makes U-turn, quickly deletes Twitter poll after Osinbajo toppled Tinubu. A privately owned television station, Television Continental TVC, tried to beat a quick retreat to delete its own polls when it became obvious that current Vice President Yemi Osinbajo dusted national leader of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the opinion poll it conducted on Twitter. The poll centered on who would carry the day, who eventually at the primaries of the ruling party, in which the former governor of Lagos State has filed out to contest against the vice president and other contestants across the country. Ahead of the event, the popular TV station owned by Tinubu, apparently shocked by the result, which tipped Osinbajo as favorite for the party ticket, had to delete the result of the outcome after seeking the opinions of Nigerians on who was more favored amongst all the candidates. It was gathered that the television station, with headquarters in Lagos, on its official handle on Wednesday, conducted an APC primary themed poll asking, now that ATIKU has emerged as PDP presidential candidate, who should APC field as its flag bearer? Rotimi Amechi, the immediate past Minister of Transportation, Osinbajo, incumbent Senate President Ahmed Lawan, and Tinubu were listed as the candidates the respondents were to choose from. It was discovered that after 1,721 people had voted, with Osinbajo leading with 43% of the votes cast, followed by Tinubu with 40%, Amechi with 8%, and Lawan with 9% of the total votes cast, the tweet was deleted. In related news, a Twitter handle, Big Daddy One, known to be a dogged follower of the Asiwaju camp and who was simultaneously hosting a Twitter space, had to delete his poll, which equally got the same negative result. His own poll, apparently referring to the major grouts the camp has against Osinbajo, believed to be the political godson of the former Lagos State governor, asked, refusing Bola Tinubu APC ticket is a betrayal, yes or no? Contrary to the thinking amongst Tinubu supporters that it amounted to betrayal for the vice president to contest against the APC boss, who first appointed him a commissioner in his cabinet and reportedly recommended him for his present job, a total of 1,763 people voted, 73% no, and only 27% yes, prompting the poll to be deleted as well for apparent reasons. So there it is right there. All manners of everything pointing against Tinubu, of course. Yeah, the disgrace almost certain to be total. We already see him hemorrhaging in public. He's already lost his composure, but he's now going to enter the streets naked and turn mad. Is the madification of Tinubu? Is that what we're seeing now? When Obasanjo brutalized ATIKU, I saved him. I was there when Yar'Adua chased RIBADU with an axe. Tinubu now just out to destroy everybody. APC national leader Bola Tinubu is doubling down on his credential as a bona fide aspirant that should be selected as the All Progressive Congress's presidential candidate, citing instances of his political exploits and apparent sagacity. I have been doing this for a long time. Give me the position. It is my turn, Mr. Tinubu said. Whilst casting himself as a political savior and Nigeria's possible messiah, Mr. Tinubu on Thursday in Ogun State declared that it was his turn to be Nigeria's next president because of his vast experience getting the likes of ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, out of trouble. The former Lagos State governor stated that he saved Mr. Abubakar, Mr. RIBADU, and a former Senator Ganiyu Solomon from their oppressive principles. He reminded the Ogun State stakeholders that he still has the wherewithal to govern Nigeria. Whilst many acknowledged his vast political and financial base, there are concerns about his health, which Tinubu has always dismissed. When Atiku's party ganged up against him and Obasanjo brutalized him, he ran to me for help. It was I who saved him. It is my turn now, Mr. Tinubu told APC members in Yoruba language. The former Lagos State governor reminded party members that his political intelligence saved Mr. RIBADU when witch-hunted by then President Umar Yar'Adua, who demoted him from the EFCC chair to Deputy Commissioner of Police before dismissing him from the force. When Nuhu RIBADU was chased with an axe during Yar'Adua's administration, this is not a matter of axe, it is a matter of wisdom, recounted Tinubu, whilst taking credit for resolving the crisis that beset the former EFCC chairman. Tinubu, dubbed a political godfather to many elected officials, insisted it was his turn to be the country's president and succeed President Muhammad Buhari, whose 8-year tenure would expire in 2023. Meanwhile, Mr. Buhari has insisted on a consensus candidate for the party, a move Mr. Tinubu has long opposed. The former Lagos State governor has also reportedly learned that he will not be Mr. Buhari's favorite, prompting him to embark on an open confrontation few days to the presidential primaries. Ahead of the ruling party's convention on June the 6th, Mr. Tinubu has made headlines for being the least likely due to a possible consensus arrangement to clinch the presidential ticket, despite being the most prolific politician amongst the aspirants. So, of course, dead and buried, of course, that's just what you have to conclude. 20 million Nigerians failed to come for voters' card collection. INEC laments. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has complained about the high number of uncollected permanent voters' card (PVCs), putting the figure at about 20 million. The INEC National Commissioner of FCT, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and Plateau States, Mohammed Haruna, on Tuesday, stated this whilst launching a campaign to drive the collection of PVCs and increase participation in the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise. Mohammed asserted that the statistics by INEC in 2019 showed that over 84 million PVCs were printed. He explained that over 72 million were collected, whilst over 11 million voters' cards were left uncollected. He said the Southwest had the highest number of uncollected PVCs with over 3.4 million, followed by the Northwest with over 1.9 million, then the South-South with over 1.7 million. Whilst the North Central had about 1.5 million uncollected cards, the Southeast recorded over 1.4 million, Northeast over 800,000, and the FCT about 318,000 uncollected voters' card. He said, ahead of the 2019 general elections, there were 84 million PVCs. I think close to 20 million PVCs have not been collected. It may be a small percentage, but in terms of absolute numbers, that is huge. 20 million is possibly more than the voters of so many West African countries put together. However, a civil society organization is launching a continuous voters card registration and PVC collection campaign in collaboration with INEC, United Nations Development Programme, and Africa and YIAGA Africa to drive collection in the FCT and Nasarawa State. In April, INEC announced a total of over 1.8 million newly PVCs. That should be new, but they wrote new PVCs, comprising over 1.3 million cards of genuine new registrants and 464,000 approximately PVCs for verified applicants for transfer or replacement of cards were ready for collection. So 20 million outstanding PVCs in the hands of Mahmoud Yakubu. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Details of Osinbajo's meeting with APC chairman, 5 governors emerge. The details of the meeting between Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress APC Abdullahi Adamu, and 5 governors of the ruling party have emerged. Correspondents earlier reported that Osinbajo met with Adamu and 5 governors in Aguda House, the official residence of the vice president. According to a presidency official, the vice president met with the governors and party chairman to consult with them ahead of the primary scheduled for June the 6th and June the 7th. In a chat with correspondents, the official said Osinbajo's camp was trying to see the aspirants who would step down for the vice president ahead of the primary. He, however, disclosed that the chances of Vice President Osinbajo emerging as APC presidential candidate for 2023 are bright. The meeting was part of consultations ahead of the primary. We were trying to see those who would step down. Chances look bright for the vice president, he said. The presidency official listed the governors at the meeting to include David Umahi, Kayode Fayemi, Yahaya of Gombe State, Abdullahi Sule Nasarawa, and Dapo Abiodun Ogun State. Meanwhile, the Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has warned the APC against giving its presidential ticket to a northern candidate. In a Facebook post on Thursday, Akeredolu, the chairman of the Southern Nigeria Governors Forum, urged the party to fight hard to keep power by rotating the presidency to the south. He wrote, APC must work to retain power. We must retain power to retain power. Rotate to the south. Shikena, that's all. So Shikena, that is all. But it looks as though now, Osinbajo, there's not. We started this whole process thinking it was a sure bet that it was Tinubu, but we're ending it now at the business end of it, almost with the certainty that it will be Osinbajo. But what do we know? We only know when we know. OKADA riders sue Lagos State government. So here it is right there, the abokification of Lagos State. The abokification of Lagos State. OKADA riders sue Lagos State government. The Lagos State government has been dragged to court by trustees of Motorcycle Transport Union of Nigeria following the ban on operations of commercial motorcyclists. Applicants in the lawsuit before a federal high court in the state are Comrade Peter Umo, Pastor Tony Unuaha, David Obiana, Adebayo, etc., etc. So a good mix, actually. So it's not an aboki thing, apparently. Defendants in the suit are Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Governor of Lagos State Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Lagos Task Force, Commissioner of Police Lagos State, and Commissioner of Transportation Lagos State. Aside asking for a declaration that the ban on commercial motorcycles are illegal, unlawful, and unconstitutional, the applicants also asked the court to declare that the purported proposed ban of commercial motorcycle transportation in Lagos State by the governor, without hearing from the operators whose rights are affected or likely to be affected, is a violation of the constitutional rights of the applicants to fair hearing, provided for and encapsulated in Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They also prayed for a declaration that the ban on the business of commercial motorcycle transportation in Lagos State by the government is a violation of the rights of the applicants guaranteed under Section 33 of the 1999 Constitution, who cannot be alive without food and other means of sustenance, and whose income is the business of the commercial motorcycle transportation. So I'm not quite sure. That seems like a convoluted reach to law. They also prayed for a declaration that the ban on the business of commercial motorcycle transportation in Lagos State by the government is a violation of the right of the applicants guaranteed by Section 33 of the Nigerian Constitution, who cannot be alive without food and other means of sustenance, and whose income is the business of commercial motorcycle transportation. In the affidavit in support of the application sworn by one Pastor Emmanuel Donatus, the deponent averred that he and other operators had no means of sustenance apart from the business of OKADA. They prayed the government to restrict OKADA operations in major highways to approved areas rather than banning their operations. The suit has not been assigned to any judge. So there it is right there. So the suit will be assigned, of course, by the Lagos State space to a judge that will tell them to get lost. Suspended EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu, decorated as AIG. Former acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has been decorated as an Assistant Inspector General of Police. Magu was decorated after clocking the mandatory retirement age of 60 on May the 5th, weeks after the Police Service Commission confirmed his promotion. Usman Baba, Inspector General of Police, decorated Magu at the police headquarters in Abuja. This is coming months after he was suspended as acting chairman of EFCC, just after he appeared before a panel probing allegations of gross misconduct. So there it is right there. The reward for fraud is promotion. Osinbajo calm, cheerful as Tinubu explodes over Buhari's plot to impose consensus presidential candidate on APC. All right. So I think that's somewhat repetitive of what we've already read. So let's now go to the room. By the way, we're still reaching for and by the way, we're still reaching for that 150 likes. So please try and get us to that just as quickly as you can. We need to reach 150 likes for the stream. This is the minimum bar that Ajanle Koko has set for you guys. And I know that you will not let Ajanle Koko down. So click on the like button, please, just to help propel the platform up the YouTube algorithm. So as we set about the clickings, let me bring in then the panelists. Solly, I see you. Thomas, I see you. Exiro, I see you. Baba Akure, I see you. War Peace, I see you. And the mighty Agile Lekoko, I see you. So good to have you all, gentlemen. So Exiro, let's go to Exiro first. Exiro, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but well, you suddenly turned off your camera. Everybody knows your face. We see you all over social media. So why do you come here now? Look at this guy. You're a funny fella. Huh?
You just walk my face. Huh? You just walk my face.
One man.
Yes.
Abandon Exiro. He's eating jollof rice and chicken now.
Yes. Let me abandon Exiro. Let me come
Why
to.
Why you abandoning me now? Why you abandoning me? Why you abandoning me?
Jollof rice and rice. Jollof rice and chicken all the time.
What man just wants to?
I actually want to. So I wanted to come to this guy first. To Niger.
When are you going to tell Ajanle Koko and this guy to bring in their face? What piece?
No, well, they've never brought in their face before. It's only people that are already known on social media. So that's what.
You want to see me?
That's what.
Look at me.
Ajanle Koko, where's Ajanle Koko?
Look at
Exiro now.
I saw Look at Exiro, the lion from the east.
It's always all over social media. So I think maybe you should. I think don't worry. We all saw him. We all saw him. Maybe you should switch off the camera because this look is not healthy for my platform. I thought you were good looking, but maybe switch off the camera. I don't think we are trying to attack babes, not chase them away. Where are you traveling to? Where are you traveling to?
It's good.
I'm going to Stockholm. I'm going to Stockholm. I'm traveling to Stockholm.
Stockholm. All right. From where? So you are going interstate.
Yes.
Oh, all right, brilliant. So let me take you then to the treachery of Aregbesola, who abandons Tinubu now. You know, so is it getting embarrassing? Should they just pack it in and save whatever little dignity has left? The Jagaban of DBT.
Yeah, you know, we said this before that the house is not united. You know, Tinubu is being left behind because even those who wanted to stand behind him can see that his health is falling apart. You know, he cannot last on that seat. Buhari was much healthier when he got in, so he was able to, you know, service his health up to this through to this time. But Tinubu cannot. I don't think. The closer they get to the election, the frailer he becomes. He's shaking, you know. So even those who want to stand by him know that there's no mileage in that. It will only as he is now, he can only last for maybe 3.5 years and then collapsing.
Nah, I know you're not God now. Take it easy.
I know I'm not God, but I mean the weight of the office. That's what I'm saying. And they don't see Tinubu continuing mentally. They think
it certainly doesn't show like he has ATS in him.
Yes, exactly. And he's going to definitely, after a while, he's going to dump the weight of that office onto his wife and son, who are now going to bring in their own gang. They are no longer going to, these other guys who are the governors are no longer going to be benefiting from him because he's not going to be directly linking with them. they are going to now be linking through the son and especially the wife who is too forward. And I don't think any of them want that. You know, these guys, they're smart. They think ahead. They've seen their future. So they want to lay their future where it's more profitable. So, but for Aregbesola, it's been coming. You know, it's been coming. He's the one who originated the Atole talk now. You know,
he's a very treacherous fellow. Anyway, what we are seeing in politics now is the real sharp end of life. You know,
yes.
It's the convenience of what I can do for you, what you can do for me. There's no personal relationship, no loyalty. Nobody cares about you. Some of them even hate you. But as long as you're useful to them, it's yes sir, yes sir. And the moment they feel that if they slice you up, they get a piece, they slice you up very sharply. We saw it with Osinbajo, Aregbesola. It's quite.
No, I think it's Tinubu who is forgetting the number one rule of the game. There are no permanent friends or permanent enemies, but permanent interest. You understand? So I think that is what is playing out here.
Look at the way it's going down memory lane, telling, "Oh, I did this for you and I did that for you." Well, who cares? You did it both for our mutual benefit. Get lost.
Yes. No, his mindset. You know, he's so colonial in thinking. He thinks that everybody's going to respect a gentlemanly agreement that he did on his own behalf, not on behalf of the people. So now he's explaining to the people whom he has, shortchanged. And look at what they're doing. I mean, nobody's going to sympathize with him because he shortchanged the people, took away the booty, and used those booty to sign up different arrangements that are going to be for he and his family. It's no benefit to the people. So now who is he explaining to? The people, that the people should sympathize with him. Look at the whole of Lagos. He took over everything. Look at this other state. He wanted to lay his imprint down to even Edo State. So he wants to Tinubunize everything, and then everything will now fall onto the shoulders of his wife and son. That is we are smarter than before. Before, most of the people who are interested in this politics now, they were not interested. We thought maybe the politicians should do that thing. But these days, even churches are telling their members, go get your PVC because something dangerous is about to happen.
Very dangerous.
And Tinubu does not. Something dangerous is about to happen if you don't pay attention to your environment, what is happening around you. These guys are going to sell you off. And they're wasting people every day.
But Tinubu is not giving up without a fight. It's going to get very vicious and very ugly, and it's already getting to that space. So more of that we want to see. His television station, even a television station that is as prejudiced and there to promote his interest as this, they set up a poll to say, who do people want? People told them they want Osinbajo. They quickly deleted the tweets. Another organization that is a totally Tinubu wall-to-wall, they set up a poll to ask people if Osinbajo betrayed Tinubu. People said no. So it's just a public rejection, just so grueling, so harrowing, so painful.
Yes. I think it's only Tinubu who doesn't understand that the tides have changed. Once you get to a certain age, you just remain on backstage. Let those who have vibrance and insight and foresight to take the stage. You support from behind. But if you say you want to lead, I mean, physically, you can't stand in the midst of younger ones. Have you seen the way he looks? It's like, I don't know.
It looks like dead warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Dead man walking. I don't know why. He still wants to be president. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And everybody's seeing it. Yeah.
All right. It's certainly not going down without a fight, though. But let's move on. There are plenty of Tinubu to go through, but really, it's just like flogging a donkey that is dead. It's not going to carry your drop the dead donkey. So let's drop the dead donkey and move on to more important, more disturbing matters. 20 million people yet to collect their PVC. This is what INEC is saying. Do you want 20 million PVCs in the hands of Mahmoud Yakubu?
You know, when I saw that story, I thought they didn't do justice to the news. They didn't do justice to that story. The 80 million PVCs that were already in the hands of citizens, how were they distributed? Of that 80 million, I think about 50 or 40 million is in the north. Or 50 million is in the north. I want to see that distribution. This 20 million that just fringe, even in the 20 million, you still see how they distributed it. It's almost equally through the region. That means the PVC distribution itself has given power to the north. If you watch critically, these are less educated people who have these PVCs. Some of them minors who have these PVCs. And the South, who are more educated, who are more sensitized, who need the leadership more, have less PVCs.
But is it not really down to numbers? Because from the readout, the South that you are claiming are more educated, most of them are the highest numbers of people that have not collected their PVCs, according to the data that Mahmoud Yakubu has released.
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference between 1.5 million and 1.2 million, because at the end of the day, not even everybody is going to have a chance to vote. But in generality of the statistics, you will see that even if these 20 million are distributed to the last person that has not collected, you still see the preponderance of the north. You know?
Yeah, but do they not have a numerical advantage anyway? So what? I mean,
I doubt. We've reached a point where we can no longer deny or self-deny. Most of the occurrences of minor voters are not from the north. We have to be saying the truth so that we know how we place things in proper perspective. And when these voters distribution cards were being distributed prior to the last election or prior to the first election, there was somewhat complaint from the South that they were not getting their voters cards. We forget too quickly. The process was frustrated in the South. And after the election, I think a lot of people went to sleep. And now, prior to this election again, we are hearing just 20 million voters, almost evenly distributed. So, I mean, I think the election has been rigged already. That's just what I think. Because at the end of the day, we'll see nobody's going to be policing who's a minor, who is not, who's a citizen, or who is not. You see? That's where the rigging starts. Coupled with a lot of instances of no internet fluctuation or voters card not being reader or what's it called, the card reader not functioning properly. That is where the rigging is. But as far go get your voters card, I'm so shocked that at this moment the South, who were deprived of getting their voters card in the previous election, even those who wanted to get from other parties, in the north. There are churches there are some Christian people who complained that they went to do the voters registration, they were denied collecting their PVCs. We saw those videos. I'm not just making it up. We saw those videos. So, and we let things die down in that country. Now we are talking about 20 million. I think there's more than 20 million people who are eligible to vote who don't have the chance, who have not gone to get these PVCs, maybe because of the sensitization or just voter apathy, in the South, because the South.
I think there's a lot of voter apathy anyway, because I think the South is somewhat cynical about the electoral process. They have no confidence that their votes count for anything. So why make the effort to, let them just do their own thing. Just don't kill us. It's just what they're asking,
Exactly.
All right. Let me move you on from there, Xero. So as Tinubu continues to publicly implode, Osinbajo continues to march forward in his orchestration. He holds a meeting with key governors within the APC to find out who is going to step down for him in his pursuit of that ticket. Crucially, at that meeting was the chairman of the party too. So all roads point to Osinbajo as we are now, 3 days before decision time. So what are you then making of Osinbajo's moves to secure the ticket?
You know what, I always give you deep analysis. Sometimes they will look maybe not too clear when I say them, but if you fast forward, you see them playing out.
Don't worry, you're a prophet. Go on.
This current election, I'll just give you an instance of what happened in America, so you compare it to what's happening in Nigeria, what's playing out, and you'll be able to figure out what's going to happen next. You know, in America, there's a party called the Democrats that a lot of people are falling in love with today. But do you know that in those days, it was actually the Republicans that were on the side of the Africans or the African Americans? You know, so over time, they switched places. This is what I see playing out in Nigeria. You see, even no matter who becomes the APC candidate, as long as you're not from the north, there's an ethnic tinge to this whole thing. The powers are going to switch gradually towards the ATIKU presidency. Then all those power players will now be behind ATIKU.
But we've already been discussing that now. This is not some insight you are introducing. Look at this guy. Yeah.
So no. So it's no longer going to be a party politics now, but it's an ethnic politics between two parties. The same people are going to be behind ATIKU, and their same ideologies will continue. In that way, they still retain power, but it may look like, oh, okay, we're having a new beginning. No. So no matter what becomes, I think the Tinubu Osinbajo thing is just to make the South feel, okay, now we have a chance, you know. But at the end of the day, this power play is shifting towards another northern candidate in a different party.
You see, in that space that you're talking about, I think we actually discussed what you are saying yesterday. And what I was saying is a narrative of payback. There's a narrative that subsists that these guys are to calm him down, assured ATIKU in 2019 that they will return his stolen mandate in 2023. Because of course they stole the mandate. So that was why they were able to quieten him down, and that was why he stayed away. He just went to Dubai and just kept quiet. So he has now come back, and we have seen, to add more credence to that narrative, we've seen meetings of him, Ahmed Lawan, Mia Malabuni, and some I think Masari. So all the senior APC who are Fulani players, we've seen clips of them meeting a few months ago. So there was nothing that should sort of lead to a meeting between ATIKU and the people he's looking to defeat.
Nothing
other than some covert surreptitious going on. Which adds to that they want to return the mandate that they stole from him in 2019 as promised in 2023. So they said they are going to field a weak candidate that he can defeat, or a candidate that they can give a narrative that he defeated. But Tinubu too much of an unknown quantity, so it cannot be Tinubu.
Exactly, you know. So that gives them they still maintain, in that way they still maintain their agenda, and they will continue it for another 8 years, which means it has been straight up 16 years of the northern leadership. So don't let anything fool you about Osinbajo or Tinubu. They are phasing these guys out. They're just giving them the playground. Okay, play. Anybody that comes up. But then the power players are moving again. Because
they could still give the ticket to Osinbajo, but they will work against him, of course.
Exactly.
I mean, we know Mahmoud Yakubu now that was telling us that they had over 1 million votes in Borno, a population of 5 million, war torn.
Exactly.
You know, so we already know the play.
Yeah. So what we are looking at is just a form of, okay, the people think, okay, yeah, we are getting a new life. Let's see what ATIKU is going to bring. But then they have a bigger ambition. It's above party limits. It's an ethnic ambition. They must retain, because ATIKU is just one of them. He was supporting Buhari. He was actually in the party when Buhari was fostered. You know. So I don't think we can see the play. So Osinbajo winning it or Tinubu winning it is just to appease the South. They say, okay, yeah, we're giving you the chance now. Go and prove yourself. But then they don't work for you. Everything goes against you. They have the electionary material, they have the voter card, they have every means to rig it. They have every means to rig it. So they still maintain the central power, and everybody will just name for their regional power.
So we're doomed either way.
Doomed either way. We're just having a switch of party, the same agenda.
So essentially, Buhari hands over to Buhari.
Buhari hands over to Buhari.
Oh
and everybody's still suffering.
Yes.
Buhari hands over to Buhari.
And another Sunday Igboho emerges and they shoot him down too.
Yes. Don't forget they've invested too much. They've invested so much in this current administration towards empowering the North. There is a pipeline that they are building
to Morocco. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They're not going to let that just fizzle out. They are not. And Dangote's investments are just too much to let it fizzle out. They're not. They don't want anybody to micromanage their activities, so they're going to see it through. And then they have to maintain all the different departments they have put in their voice to sustain their, that's just how they want to operate. So we can see it.
All right. You paint a very gloomy picture, Mr. Exiro. A very gloomy picture indeed, but vested in reality. But thank you, Exiro. So for reasons of time, Exiro, let me go on to a different voice. But before I go on to that voice, let me implore. If you have not already clicked on like, click on like. We're looking to hit 150 likes on the stream, fluctuating between 180 to 200 people watching us concurrently. So there's no reason why we should not hit our target. So take us to our target quickly as we welcome to Niger to the platform. So to Niger, are you there?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, brilliant. Good to have you to Niger. So good to have you. And let me take you to a different talking point then to Niger. And this OKADA situation in Lagos State. So Lagos State now banned that space just because the Fulanis that are occupying that space, they're just too barbaric for a civilized space like Lagos. But the barbarians have now discovered there is such a thing as law, and they are now suing the Lagos State for the right to continue to foist themselves on the state. So what are you making of this rather audacious, somewhat rascally lawsuit by their bookies? What are you making of that to Niger?
Yeah, about the OKADA business, I think these things could be handled better. I don't understand why whenever we want to do things in that country, we just sometimes do it in a terrible way. Cross River and I think Akwa Ibom, they did the same thing, but they phased it in and they did some stuff to give the drivers, that's the cyclists, alternatives to do these things. And if they wanted to do it, there's no reason why you can't figure out a way to do it, in a way that doesn't lead to so much pain and disagreements everywhere. So personally, I hold the Lagos authorities accountable for this, and I don't know, we should be holding them accountable for these sort of things too. There's no reason why we just disrupt people's lives without putting proper alternatives, catering to the people in a way that leads at least to some sense of transition. You don't just ban things outright.
Do you disagree that the ban should have been instituted, or are you saying that they should have handled it better?
Yes, it should be. No, the ban definitely needs to be in place, because if it is not needed in because of the risks involved in cyclists and the way, and even if when managed, it's still dangerous. Then it needed to happen. But this is the thing: if something needs to happen, you need to transition it, and you need to do it in a way that doesn't lead to too much disruption to people's lives. Because if you have people just everybody go because you all look like Agbros to me, and your lives are not worth anything, then you have problems. This is what creates problems. It's quite straightforward. You let people know ahead of time. You give them alternatives, because these are a lot of people now that are not going to have a source of income. You don't want them hanging around in the atmosphere where you have bandits and kidnapping and all the rest going on. You have to handle these things responsibly. There is no rush. What is the rush to just go into? And we've been hearing about this for years now. So if they wanted to do it, they could have handled it in a more in a stable manner. But no, somehow incompetence is all happening everywhere, and the leaders are so tone deaf.
Can I interject 1 minute?
Go ahead.
Yes, actually, the government has given them alternatives on different opportunities that.
And they didn't take it. What was the alternative they gave them?
Okay, they give them alternative for them to form a what do you call it?
A trade union.
No, not a trade union, but what do they call like a group of is the cooperative that they should form a cooperative, and the BRT opportunity and some other things that are open for them. The government are ready to assist them in pursuing another line of profession. Government came out with all these alternatives for them. But the way we are in that country, whatever we are doing, we don't like to give it up. We want to continue, even if it is illegal. So, but what break the camel's back was, the barbaric killing of a citizen.
That sound engineer.
Yeah.
Yes, that sound engineer. How can you kill and set him ablaze? That is a high level of criminality that cannot be accepted anywhere.
But has that got anything to do with, hold on, has that got anything to do with the cancellation of the OKADA?
Let me tell you this. OKADA
there are too many instances of criminality in that space. Yeah.
Look, OKADA kill, people die on OKADA every day in Lagos. Yeah. Accident in Lagos, you go to hospital, majority of accidents are a victim of OKADA. A responsible government cannot allow this to persist in a society. So don't let us blame government. Most of the time,
hold on. I'm not blaming government just for the sake of it. Hold on. This is we shouldn't mix the water.
I'm just trying to let you know that because you are saying government did not create alternative for them. Government has already given alternative. They don't want to pursue it, and then let them pack up and look for something else.
You can't just say that. You can't just say stuff. We have to get to the bottom of the matters here. If the government created an alternative, did they just go there and say, you know what, you guys, you all know yourselves, let's go get a government official goes and takes all their names, all their details. You people are OKADA people. You know what we're going to do? We are going to transition you to manning the train stations. We're going to transition you to manning the buses, stuff like that. That's how you transition people away from using OKADA. You register them yourself. Don't say you guys go and form you. Look at them. Who is going to form union? You take their details yourself where they are, whatever, because they have the organizations. You take their details, then you transition them into the other alternative transportation system that you are creating in the state. Because if the way this is handled, it's not that complicated. The other states have done it. They've done it in an amicable way. So let's not just blame. Go ahead.
So, sorry, to Niger, is the government obliged? We're talking about a private enterprise. They are not doing it for the mechanics. They are not doing it for the meat seller. So that OKADA is also a private enterprise, and if it's now evolved, transmuted into a nuisance, and even now a danger to society, what obliges the government to do anything other than just to remove them?
No, I agree with removing them. But it's how you remove them, because now you can't remove them forcefully. You see, now that's the thing, because they've gained credibility. They've existed for years. You know what they call this in non-verbal agreement. These people have existed for years. They have legitimacy. They've offered a service to the nation to an extent. So they've existed for years. If you want to take them out of the system, we're talking about thousands of people here. Maybe
do they exist within any legal framework?
Who is responsible for that? You see, everything that has happened, we can't just say, okay, let's wash our hands
of it. Who is responsible for them operating illegally?
I think the way these things are handled is that you handle it through their own associations and the government association. You go in there, you say, okay, these are your names. This is what we are going to do. You go to their leaders, the people that are mainly in charge of these things, tell them this is what we are going to do. This is how we are going to transition people away from this, because you can't have OKADAs in Lagos. Simple. It's a very simple mechanism. This is something that's happened over and over again. Why they have to model everything up in Lagos or
can I interject 1 minute
again? Please. Yeah. Go on.
Even I can handle it. If I can handle such transition, it's not a big deal. We have had people where they have where do you think all the people that made typewriters when they invented Microsoft Word and computers, they transitioned them into other forms of jobs?
I think we are missing out a big chunk in this conversation. These people are private entrepreneurs. They are functioning out of the framework of legality. This government and society, they turn a blind eye because they are meeting a chasm in the state's transportational need. That quickness of moving people from here to there and the cheapness of it as well. So the state turns a blind eye to it. They've now transmuted from being a nuisance into hardened criminals, taking lives, and the state now, backed by the people, this is what the people want as well. They want them off the streets. And a good complement of these people, they are not indigenous to the states, and even a sizable amount of them are not even vested within the country. They are foreign and alien to the state. So what the people want is to sweep up those bikes, take them to a depot and crush them, corral these people and sling them out of Lagos. This is what people want.
You corral them, you're not going to solve any problem. Kidnapping people. Sorry. This is what causes problems in our country. We pretend as if after we use the people, it doesn't even matter. We have to understand they are human beings. They are going to cause problems if they are not doing that.
They are not, so they can go and be human beings.
If you sling them out, they are going to start kidnapping people. Is that what you want instead? They are going to start causing more other problems all over the place. What does it cost you to transition them into other forms of transportation?
All right, let Ajanle Koko come in. He wants to insert something into what you said. Ajanle Koko too.
Let me tell you this. You see, this idea of banning OKADA by the government of Lagos State was, government wanted to, would have banned them before the pandemic, before the 2020, before 2019, COVID-19 rather. But because COVID-19 hit, government simmered down. And after COVID-19, government allowed them to continue to operate. They would have been banned in 2019. But because of the, adverse effect of the COVID-19 on the economy, on, economy of the state and everybody, so government relaxed and allowed them to continue to operate. And government was trying to do everything to register and to, have record of these people. But most of these criminals, among them, they're riding the OKADA with no registration. They brutalize people. They operate within that space, are constituted nuisance and criminality. And then the killing of that guy, like I said earlier,
that was a tipping point.
Yes, it was a tipping point. Government said, no, we cannot allow this criminality to continue. So that was why government came hard on them. So before that time, government has been talking to them, offering them different kind of opportunity as a way out of that business, OKADA business. But they don't want to take the opportunity. So we cannot totally blame government for coming out strongly this time to protect the people of Lagos State.
How did it happen?
And we have seen, hold on. A lot of these criminals are terrorists that you don't know. They are from Niger. They don't speak English. They are from Niger. They are from Chad. They are not people like you. They are criminals. Do you want us to wait and keep on pampering them? We want to make pampering them until when they become a problem that you cannot solve. No, let us start solving it now. The police are waking up, and everybody, I mean, people of Lagos State largely support the action of government. So the government is representing the people, but the people are supporting the government in this effort. And let us just do it and fight this war once and for all and just clear this place out of the place.
All right. Hold on. Let's X0 insert very quickly though, and then we get back to Niger to continue his thought.
Yes. I don't know if you've heard of situations where gatemen in connivance with some other people also kill their bosses. I mean, they do away with their properties after, and then their bosses are in their homes for more than a week before they discover their corpse when these people have already done. They also link with this OKADA people. So I think what Ajanifuku is saying is right. Yes, in a true situation, a state governor is supposed to cater for the citizens around them without thinking where they come from. But as Nigeria is today, it is your citizens first. Everybody is manning. That I don't buy the idea of support Yoruba first. But as Nigeria is today, with what Buhari has done Nigeria to, Sanwo-Olu should look for Yoruba first before other people. I don't usually say this kind of thing.
Lagos today, is not for Yoruba. Say only. I have to say. I mean, Lagos. I don't think the Yoruba come to 40% of Lagos.
I said. Listen to me. What I said. Listen to me. I said, as Buhari has turned Nigeria to today, with all their people in all service places, every state governor should please invest in their own citizens first. At least that's the kind of restructuring they can do. Yeah.
All right. Let's to Niger continue with his thought. So you can see that it's a real controversial space. You can feel the tempo of the people. They are fat enough of this. To Niger.
One man.
Hold on.
I can understand their sentiments because of the frustration of what is going on in the country. People feel things are tribalized and regionalized and stuff like that. But we have to, because how you combat that problem is by doing things in the other way. Because every group that is marginalized is a security threat in this country. Every single group. If you marginalize the Igbos, you are creating a situation whereby those people will sell the community out. They will take little money from somebody and go and do grievous things. This is what leads to our insecurity. If you have this sort of situation.
Can you hold on? Let him just start. I want people to be able to land their points without too much interjection. So please carry on to Niger.
Yeah, the problem is I don't have any issue with banning OKADA. I don't have any problem with dealing with criminal activities. It's about numbers. Most of the people practicing this stuff are just trying to earn a living, not the criminals. We go for those ones.
What gives you the confidence to say that? That's a big statement to say that most of these people, because people think conversely that most of these people are actually criminals.
Okay, the reason why I say that, because when I'm in Nigeria, I use OKADA. None one of them have robbed me. They've gotten me from A to B, where a boss would have made my life misery. So we have to recognize the services these people offer too. We all have used this system of this thing moving around. So I don't understand how we do this, where we pretend as if these things don't exist. We used it. We all have used it, and it served us well for a while. If it's not good anymore, you don't just chuck them. It's like soldiers fighting for your country, and you just chuck them.
It's outlived its purpose, and it's now turned into a nuisance, an existential threat even.
It is like that. Even like soldiers, a soldier serves their country and they do away with them, but you don't just chuck them to the bin. The point is, if you want to do it, it's for it's for everybody's own good.
So,
you transition them to other forms of transportation.
What obligation do you think we owe these people? Just explain.
Because of their numbers. Yeah. Because of their numbers. Because if you have been there, we're not talking about 50 people here and there. I would say, okay, fine, do whatever you like. You're talking about significant numbers of people that could cause serious problems for the state. And if you want to transition them, it doesn't cost the state anything. If anything, you're giving them jobs. Why fire people from jobs when you can give them jobs? You take your cadres, buy them, do whatever you like with your cadres, and put them into buses, into trains, into the boats that they are doing
You
in
want to put
Lagos
them?
State.
You're a funny guy. Oh. They were saying they are criminals.
You train them. No, the ones that are criminal. I'm not saying you should employ criminals. You get rid of the criminal. I'm telling you that majority of them are not criminals. They just want to earn a living.
If they take that OKADA away, is that not the incentive for them to make their way back to Borno, to Kebbi, you know? Because they are mono skills.
They will not go anywhere. They will just remain in the outskirts of Lagos and cause problems.
Well, how would they be able to fend? They'll be robbing people, and then the police will just go and savage them. That's the incentive for them to make their way home now.
End up on the news. That's the news we hear every day because we don't know how to deal with things like this. See, this is not new. I'm not inventing anything new. So I'm not saying anything profound here. If you want to take care of this problem, there are ways to do them. Take care of it that way. Why do you always choose the wrong way to do everything? It doesn't cost us anything. It really doesn't.
I respect your opinion, but I have to say that what you're saying goes against the grain. You know, because the popular will of the people, which seems to be the actions of the government, is that they don't want these people there anymore. They don't want it.
Of course not. I agree with that. I'm saying it's how you do it. Go ahead.
Come on, next.
Yeah. No, I wanted to what I wanted to say is I quite agree with what True Niger is saying. But listen, where do these people live? Where do they stay at night? You can't come into a state, you don't rent a house. You are driving OKADA and in the night you sleep on that bridge. You are you are likely to be a criminal. If you have a house, you can be traced. And then we can trace your history. We're fine. But if you don't, you cannot stay in a state like that. You should be productive. You know, you should be productive. You should live in a house.
How can you be living in a forest and no known address? You know,
please, I have something important to say. That's why I come on. I saw something on the news that is important. I want to alert everyone.
Okay, carry on.
Allow me. Okay, you know, it now matches with the discussion when I logged into your program that is similar to the point of discussion. I believe the OKADA because it should be banned. It's no more sustainable the way, even if you see how rowdy and disorganized the situation is.
You know, they ride past you and jank off your window.
Yes, innocent elderly people walking. It's not safe for anyone in Lagos to walk around. It's so congested that they have to devise another means. And now, thank goodness, there is a train which will take more people. So I believe Lagos is transitioning, it's upgrading. So removing bike is not taking food from the mouth of the law-abiding OKADA people. It's just like it's not sustainable anymore in Lagos because of the number of population. And again, I saw something on the news not just a few minutes ago that Fulanis from 16 countries converge in Abuja to discuss rising insecurities in Nigeria. I wonder what how it is their concern. The Fulanis from 16 other countries in West Africa, what are they doing in Nigeria? Do they think Nigeria belongs to them that they have to come and discuss? So we cannot handle our affairs anymore.
You can disregard that as fake news. That's fake news.
It's not fake news. It's in Sahara. Have you seen it?
Sahara what?
Sahara Reporters. Is it fake news?
That it is fake news. It's fake news. Huh?
Sorry, Reporters is fake news.
It's fake
news.
Really? Yeah. That's Showore now.
Is that Showore?
Yeah, that's Showore now.
Okay.
Just when you said from 16 countries, there are no, the Fulanis are not in. I don't think they are in more than 5-6 countries. The Gambia.
Are you sure?
Equatorial in 16 countries. Name the 16 countries that have
Fulanis. Okay. Let us keep.
They are not up to 7 countries, 5. No. We can't just take. That's just fake news. Fake news.
Okay. And even if they converge in Abuja to have a discussion, we shouldn't overblow what Fulanis represent. They are just, the whole Fulani population is about 20 to 25 million in the whole world.
It's not up to.
It's not even up to. So we shouldn't blow them out of proportion. We are amplifying their power too much. The South, the Hausas are the big groups in Nigeria, not the Fulanis. I think we have to really start seeing our people and being able to understand them and talk to them. We have to discuss honestly.
Tell me, I was that you know. Who is a prominent Hausa leader you know in Nigeria?
We've had Abacha now. It's Hausa now from Kanuri.
It's Kanuri. It's Kanuri.
Let me land. 1 minute, please, you guys. Ajalokoko, please. My point now is that a southern president should emerge to be for equality in Nigeria. So I don't support a northerner to be the president of Nigeria, whether 16 Fulani is gathered or not. So we need to come together now to, make Nigeria better place for everyone, for equality and all. So if it is true that 16 Fulanis from other countries haven't come to Nigeria, let the power move to the south right now. It's only fair. That's all I'm saying. So even if it's Osinbajo now, I don't really mind, to be honest.
All right, thank you. So to Niger, back to you. Round off your thoughts so I can go on to another talking point with another contributor.
Yeah, thank you. I think my point is that this is not new. We know how to handle this about transitions, and I think as a country we need to learn to do it a bit more. I've seen situations where I went to a university campus, and they just told me that every student has left the school because they just increased this in the school fees that they pay for their dormitories by more than 100% without notice. These damaging things that we do to our country, strikes here, absentees here, is just not helpful. We have to know how to transition from one system to another. This is why we have governments, even transition from one government, one leader to another. We have to know how to do these things. Otherwise, we're going to keep having problems in society. You all have experienced it in your lives. One way or the other, government use you for one thing and dump you, and one service use you here and dump you. You pay for electricity you don't get. We have to understand that we have to try to learn how to transition things the way it's always done everywhere else. And we shouldn't support people that want us to do it the wrong way. That is one thing we have to learn how to do. And I just say this is not a profound thing. It's just one of those simple things that is already done in Nigeria. We should just copy that, and it's not going to cost us anything. It will give us peace of mind. Thank you.
All right, thank you to Niger, and thank you for holding your position, because of course the popular opinion on at least from what we're hearing is not yours, but you held your grounds. That is what we like. You believe in something and you stick by it. So he stuck by his opinion, and another person that never wavers in his opinion, Baba Kure. So Baba Kure, are you there? All right, let me go to let's go to Solly. Let's go to Solly. So Solly, are you there?
I'm there.
All right, brilliant. So Solly, the EFCC suspended erstwhile chairman Ibrahim Magu. He was kicked out of the chairman of the anti-fraud agency, but he was kicked out of that chairmanship position for reasons of fraud. And by way of punishment, to make sure he doesn't do it again, they promote him to Inspector General of Police. So the Fulani Nigeria continue a gift that continues to give. Ibrahim Magu now decorated. So he's about to retire. So they promote him quickly so that they can heighten his pension package, as though what he defrauded by their own accusation is not enough. What are you making of that, Solly?
Well, I'm not surprised. If anybody is surprised, I believe that they are naive. What would surprise me is if it was an Igbo man that they promoted like that. So it's not surprising. I don't know why people say they see things like this. They say, "Ooh, ooh, ah." Every tribe is distinct. What every tribe will do, we already know. But when they do it, we say, "Oh, we are shocked." We already know how each other are. Why can't we just face reality and try to work with what we know? But instead, we come and complain that, oh, this one is doing this one. We already know that that's the behavior of the person. We already know that that's what they are liable to do. But yet, people are still going to vote ATIKU in because they don't have common sense. So when something happens during ATIKU's regime, they say, oh, I should have known. He was a Fulani man. He's doing this, he's doing that. Okay, but you didn't know that was their tendency before you voted them in. We all know, but we all like to form ignorance, So I'm not surprised if they give him the position.
Can you read your screen, Solly?
But okay.
What it's saying is it's saying that your response to everything is somewhat monotonous. Are you surprised? I am not surprised. They are the Fulanis now.
Yes, Exactly. Since I was a kid, this thing has been happening. Or is it just me that was opening my eye? I don't think so. So everybody is seeing it, including me, but everybody is acting surprised. You say they are predictable, that they are not smart, but they keep on doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Is that not outsmarting you? Whether you saw it coming or you didn't see it coming. What's the difference? They still won.
All right. So Solly, the Fulani champion of
No, I'm not
but you know
supporting it. I'm just not
what you are
surprised.
saying. You know what you are saying. Yeah, it's not that anybody disagrees or nobody thinks the same thing. You know, because you are just boiling it down to the cold reality of it. That the cold reality of it is that you can barely ache all you like. If you are not able to do something about it, they will continue to ride on your back. Because
Yes.
why not? You've not tried to shake them off your back, so why would they not continue to ride on your back? So we understand all that, but people wanted a more robust, a more nuanced.
But what is this going to solve? One man, I've been getting angry at people majority of my life. He solved nothing until I solved the things. So what can we do? I don't get angry when people do things that are predictable anymore. I just say, okay, it is what
okay.
it
So
is.
is your position surrender, or do you actually have a solution?
Outsmart them
Or
bad. Outsmart them bad.
what does
These
that mean?
people are
That's
not
an ambiguous statement.
okay. When I say outsmart them back, you know what they are going to do, right? Frustrate them in a way that you claim that you have the higher mental capacity than them. Frustrate them all the way. Now turn this thing around. If it were an Igbo man to do this, what would a Fulani man do? They will frustrate you all the way. But you sit down there, cry, 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 do nothing to frustrate them, allow them to get away with it and complain. You too, turn it around. Ask yourself, what would they do if they were in that position?
My God. So the panacea now is what will a Fulani do? It used to be
Exactly.
what would Jesus do, and it's now what will a Fulani do. So there it is right there, the new paradigm that
And
we're
sorry,
conjuring
I'm
with.
not attacking you. Don't use Igbo. Don't put Igbo on the scale again, okay? They are,
Let it,
the Fulanis are attacking everyone in
ignore
Nigeria.
that. Speak as you will. Don't please, Bia, don't micromanage. Let people
I'm not
speak as no,
micromanaging,
no.
but he likes to put Igbos on the scale, one
So
man.
sorry. Bia, I will call order when lines are being crossed here, and Solly has not
I'm
crossed the
only
line.
interjecting. He
No,
told me yesterday. No, he said I'm
no.
being tribal yesterday, remember? And I
Oh
told him I
God,
wasn't. So he
we
can
don't
speak
want
for
to.
himself.
But I
You were
don't. Two
insulting a
things.
tribe.
Can you hold on?
Insulting. What did I say?
Hold
Ajale
on.
Koko was
Hold on. Two things. I will call order when lines are being crossed, and you have to trust me because I have a good barometer for when lines are being crossed, and I will call the order there. That's the first thing. And two, I want to move away from the rowdy sessions. So please just help me
I'm
to
not being
achieve.
rowdy. Can
Oh,
you
okay.
ask him how?
Thank you. That's enough from you. Sorry, back to you, Solly. Round of your thoughts.
So someone even said they have political power, they have military power. It doesn't mean that you should. Do you understand what frustrating somebody means? Frustrating somebody means when, for example, they want to grab even a dog. When you tie a dog and you don't give a dog food, after a while the dog will give up. Even if you remove the rope from his neck, you frustrate them. You make things hard for them. Next time they want to do it, they will think about it. You slow things down. If you can't say that you can't fight them. There's no way that these people are smarter than you. You keep on saying it, you keep on saying it, you keep on saying it, but you are not making plans to outsmart them. It doesn't have to be violence, it doesn't have to be physical. Just think of ways. You know the country. The country is your country. You can do whatever you want. When you leave your country, you know that you have constraints. When you are in your own country, you know that there are some limits that you can go past. You don't want to understand your country. Everybody wants to run away. Everybody can't leave Nigeria. You know, you have to deal with the people there.
All right. Thank you, Solly. So, Solly, let me go on from you, Solly, and go to HO and put her a talking point. So, HO, I want to take you to the space of Aregbesola, and now moving away. You see, you say he deserves what comes to him, and who will feel sympathy for a multi-billionaire Tinubu who looted the entirety of Lagos State from a position of poverty to make himself one of the richest men in the world. This guy that has destroyed so many lives. So what sympathy for him? But the treachery is playing out in public glare, and they are lining up one by one to insert the knife into this guy's body. Aregbesola, the latest to insert that knife. So it's just should he even step down? Aregbesola backs Osinbajo as Southwest splits between Bola Tinubu and Vice President. So what are you then making of that? Is it getting embarrassing? Should they just protect what little dignity he has left?
He has no dignity. He has no dignity to protect. He's selfish and wicked. So it was nice and sweet of him to choose to become the governor of Lagos State, Ogun State. And that puts him as the godfather of the West. The same thing he has done in all the Western states is now going to be meted onto him, and he's crying out. And for him to even say it is his turn, even though they give it to Obasanjo, no, it is his turn. It just makes me feel how entitled all these politicians have made themselves to become.
Do you understand why he said that, Echo? Do you understand? I'm sure you do, but why do you think he said it is his turn?
He has no turn. Nigeria does not belong to him. Sometimes when I look at the Yoruba, the Hausas, and the Igbo, they talk about marginalization, it breaks my heart because they make it look as if they are the only 3 tribes in that country, Nigeria.
Oh, well said.
They are the one that hold key position. These are the one coming to power. But at still the end of the day, they are the 3 tribes that are still fighting. What about other tribes?
What other tribes? They don't matter really. The minorities are always dominated.
Who made them minority? Who chooses the tribe he wants to come to life?
The numbers determine the minorities. When has the minority ever had sway over the majority?
The minority you call them, that is where your money comes from.
It doesn't matter now. That's really life, isn't it? That's life.
Do you know that the minority make up? That's if the minorities come together, they are greater than.
They are more than one man. You are very wicked. You are very wicked.
Yeah, but that's not the truth, though. That's the truth.
No, actually, the minority population of this country is greater than.
There is nobody that is a minority.
Yeah, but they are single standalones now. They are not a united front. They are just little,
nobody chooses the tribe that he or she wants to come from.
Yeah, but that's the hand life dealt now. So
the best way for
the minorities
really
will always be dominated. The people that matter in Nigeria are the Northerners, the Yorubas, and the Igbos. The rest.
Hold on, sorry. You know what you just said just now? Yeah. The Hausas are the true giants. You are basically saying the Hausas should run this country. The Hausas are 70 million, Igbos 30 million, Yorubas 30 million.
I don't know where you got that data. We've done that data before.
That is the census of the country.
That is not. It's not. We've gone through those figures.
When it suits you like it.
The truth is this.
When it suits you, you like the data. When it suits you and say the others are minority.
Sorry, hold on. Ajale Koko, when have we? How many times have we done the Nigerian population? When we've got to statistical to do the charting to the last minority. How many times have we gone through the data?
It's always clear that
we've done the Nigerian population several. We have the data now, so don't say the Hausa.
Has higher population, and we know majority of the North is Hausa. The South has 2 major groups. It's common sense to realize that the Yorubas on their own and the Igbos on their own, they are not the size of the Hausas. The Hausas are about 70 million. Yorubas 30 million. They are.
Where you getting that?
No, that's a fake. You are dishing out fake information, right? Let me tell you. Yeah, that's a fake information. Look, if you separate,
why did he not go there to advocate for the Easterners to rule? Why is he fighting for himself? He owns Lagos. His family control almost everything in Lagos. Is that not enough for him? Does it mean that is he saying that if he died today, they won't bury him because they didn't make him the president of Nigeria? We are looking for somebody.
Are you saying he should not have an ambition, or what? Sorry, what exactly?
He should have an ambition, but not entitlement mentality.
Vanity.
When will he go to Ogun State and regard the governors of Ogun State like just a little child is talking about?
But he's his boy now. Is he not his boy?
What makes him his boy? Show Onlo Bini.
Onlo now.
What should drive ambition
is the one that take care of him.
He's the one that puts food on his table now.
Thank you, one man.
The truth is, let's stop all this. All this entitlement politician coming out that put us in this mess, we are still fighting to come out. And they are still the one that I want to come to come to power.
Can I interject?
Yeah, comment solid, yeah.
Ms. Echo, you said that he's having entitlement system, but is that not what is going against him? If you don't like it, that is your, I think, personal preference. But
it's not. It's not. It's not matter of personal. I have no personal preference. We are all human beings in that Nigeria. We deserve good leadership. We deserve a better life. We deserve people who will use our resources to better the life of our youth and children.
Okay, but he doesn't want to do that, and that is his mandate. You can, say, oh, you should do this right thing, you should do that right thing. The world will be a better place, but it is what it is. You have to let people do whatever they want to do. He can use his own mouth.
In the expense of future generation.
How is it at the expense? How is it at the expense of future generations?
Because every time you waste opportunity to grow your country and strengthen your country, you are wasting the life. You are passing suffering to the next generation.
How are you concluding that is not going to grow the country?
Okay, fair point.
His state is doing better than all your states. So everybody talking is doing better.
All I can say is that if a man starts ascribing to himself that it's my turn to lead, that betrays vanity. If you want to be a leader, it's not about whether you are the head or not. It's about what you are doing for your people. Personally, I actually prefer to be in the background.
But what he's saying is that he has positioned himself to the opportunity. So that's what he's saying now. Has he not positioned himself to the opportunity?
What is he lacking?
The best opportunity to make your country better, not necessarily to be president.
But how are the two? How are the two different?
Because all he talked about yesterday was about himself. He didn't talk about what he was going to do for the people. He was talking about himself.
No, he did talk about what he was going to do with the people. He said he was going to make a viable port in Port Harcourt. He said he was going to revisit the Bakassi space and try and resolve that, the Nigerians that are living outside of the shores of the country. He said he was going to use gas to power up the country. He said he was going to create a commodities board to guarantee food. He said a lot for the people.
Yes, he said those
things. It's all about the oil. He's after the oil.
I don't know what he said about security. We know the kind of personality he is. And besides, one should be humble enough to realize that
is he a doer? Is he a doer? Would you say he's a doer? Or a talker? Is he a talker or a doer?
No, I think he's more of a doer. But all the stuff he has done, he's been very effective in the background. If he's doing it for the betterment of Nigeria, I don't know. Some Nigerians will say we are not better off. Some people say we are better off. The results is not fully out yet. We have to judge people by what they have accomplished for the country positively. And I don't see this idea where people just come on and want to be leaders. It's vanity. Because we are in trouble here.
It's not, you are choosing to look at it as a negative. Some people will say it's ambition.
It's my turn. It's my turn. It's not vanity.
That's just language now, but what is really speaking to is ambition.
He actually said Buhari cannot be president without him.
Is that a political ideology that he should come to the Nigerian space to say?
It's not necessarily true. Some other person could have done it for Buhari again.
They did not do it the 3-4 times. Buhari had retired. We forced him out of retirement.
We all know this is not a good trait to say, even if you are capable.
To be self-confident in your own capacity. To be self-confident in your own capacity.
You can be self-confident without demanding that it's your turn.
Self-confidence often spills out into arrogance. They say you can be arrogant if you have the tools to back it up. So
no,
does he have the tools to back
an
it
extent, I will agree with that, but that's not what he was showing yesterday. He was showing frustration, lamentation, and feeling like somebody wants to take his privilege from him.
No, he was
This is
showing
a country of 200
assertiveness
million
and
people.
authority. He was showing assertiveness and authority.
How is that showing assertiveness by saying, I helped this one do this, they didn't do this, they want to betray me? And he started using languages of division where he talked about the North, the South. When he start doing
Is
those
that not the language of the Nigerian space? Does Buhari not tell you that I am a felony stock and that's where I belong?
But where has it gotten us? That needs to change. What we need to be doing...
All the lead political figures in Nigeria, they are tribal, with the exception maybe of Peter Obi.
That's my point. It's not getting us anywhere. Most nations have hate speech law. Nigeria doesn't have it. We keep our country divided and we expect to move forward. This is not the way a country should be run. We should be having leadership that is responsible. We should all be working together, singing from one hymn.
Guiding. And is that not what he is offering?
Yeah, he's saying it's my turn. They are not. It's different from me. How many shepherds can a flock have? You need people to work, the leadership to work together, and so that he should not be. I believe that when he starts talking like that, it betrays vanity. Like, oh, you are denying me my chance to be president. That is not your focus. You should be his focus. His dream should be praying that Nigeria should be safe enough for Nigerians to be able to come home and build in Ghana.
Do you think you are getting somewhat bogged down in semantics and not looking at the broader picture?
Maybe, but all I see is that when a leader, for me anyway, my standard is a bit high. When a leader starts talking about themselves and feeling entitled to leadership,
was Trump not talking about himself?
They've lost the argument already.
The only thing Boris Johnson never talks about is himself. He thinks he's better than everybody. Which leader in this world does not think he's better than everybody?
You can think you're better than everybody, but to come out and say, "Oh, because of I've done this, I've given way for these people, I should be." Yeah, you can. To be fair, you can say that. But personally, I don't think
it's building the narrative that supports that he should now have a turn.
How about other people that have never had a turn?
So do they have his CV as he has painted? Have they worked? Have they toiled the land in the manner he has toiled the land?
That's exactly what he's going to compete against. If he finds that other people seem to have gotten better CVs and everything better than him, it's not by force. He's had his time. He had a good time in Lagos. He did a lot of great things. Personally,
and to repeat it in Nigeria, do you object to that? Do you object to Nigeria being a better place?
Why would I object to that? I don't believe that. If he meant Nigeria well, by this time Nigeria would have gone even a lot further. We don't even know what he's
wow.
See, no, I will tell you this right now. See, let me tell you something.
Tinubu that is not sitting on any position would have saved Nigeria. That's what
let me say this. Let me say this.
Any concrete facts. You just don't like the man. Okay, I'm not saying
no.
Back up your hatred with facts.
No. I don't hate.
Sorry, you don't have to go being personal. Don't be personal.
Oh, the man's handshake, so we hate him.
No.
That's not what he's saying. You need to listen to him logically. Listen to him logically. Don't hate anyone here.
Give us a good reason.
Don't bring his health. Let me give you a good reason. I've given you several good reasons why a leader should be focusing on the people. That time he used to talk about those things he was talking about.
What state are you from?
It doesn't matter.
You're going tribal now. It doesn't matter. Solid, grow up.
I never said about where he came from. Oh my God.
Solid, mind
I never said anything about where he came from.
When it comes to your state, you don't bring up this kind of criticism.
Solid,
I will bring it up. If any leader comes up and says stuff, I will say the same thing.
Looking for anything.
Solid, where do you think he comes from?
Where
do you think he comes from? I'm sure you are thinking he's an Igbo man.
See, you are mistaken. I don't have. See, every time I speak here, I don't care where you are from. I don't care whether you're in the north, south, or whatever. The point is, the country deserves better. Lady spoke very well. The country deserves better. We deserve better leadership than people that are always focusing on tribalism. Because when you focus on tribalism, it doesn't get us anywhere.
To Niger, I must apologize for that. There's nothing in your tonality that suggests anything that Solly was going to. That's why I had to step him down for a moment. I'll bring him back up again. But please continue as well, because there was no tonality to suggest that You were just saying on the facts and your understanding of the situation.
Yeah, of
so
course.
No
I don't dislike Tinubu at all. Why would I dislike him? He accomplished a lot for himself. Personally, I was around when Abacha was kicking up people all over the place. He was in London while Obasanjo was in jail. So I don't have any direct issue with him. From what I hear, he did well in Lagos. If you have done so well, how do you get so old to a point where you should be sitting down and people should be giving you your respect? If they want to give you leadership, they will put it in your feet. They will be begging you to come and lead. To get to a point where you are actually talking about who the people you help and the people you didn't help, that is not how do I put it, statesmanship. If you have done such great things, you don't need people to acknowledge you even, because you know you have laid foundation for your people to do better in the future. That is the job. Not talking about yourself, about it being your turn and all the rest. If some other person comes in, you hope that you're able to steer that person and win the argument. See, let me tell you something. Leadership is not necessarily about sitting on that chair. It's about what the people will accept. Anybody here can tell, if I tell anybody you're a Christian, I tell you to turn Muslim, you're not going to agree. If you are Muslim,
there's a mass that wants him as the president, just as there is a base that doesn't want him as president.
That is fine.
Can I ask a question?
That is fine.
The thing is this, it is not a must he becomes the president. Since he said he advocates for it to come to the West, he should be speaking of collectiveness, in the sense that if they now give it to Osinbajo, he should let us know he will support it, not coming up to say as if it is given to
he will cross that bridge. He will cross that. No, he cannot say he will support Osinbajo now when he's in a battle with him. But if Osinbajo defeats him, then he has to come out to back him. But he cannot back him now.
Focus on what he's coming to do to change the situation of Nigeria, not coming to focus on his entitlement speech.
But he speaks about his plan all the time.
Can I ask Tumnanja a question?
Yes, come in.
Tumnanja, I just want to ask you a question. Do you know that Tinubu from day one wanted to be president, and that is the reason why he brought out his energy and time and money and foisted Buhari on us? And then two, have you ever been stabbed in the back by people you brought from garbage to become something in life?
Yes, that happens often. See, this is the nature of human beings, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean that they mean to do that. People do things for their own interests, and I believe Tinubu understands this perfectly well. He didn't get this far by being naive. But however, what he did yesterday just is not the kind of things he should be doing, and maybe he's just part of the generation that came before now that feel like if they are not the ones in charge, somehow, he knows how to operate from the background. He knows how to wield influence from the background. Why does he want to stop that? Why? See, let me say this. Personally, I will prepare that my will be done from the background while some other person is the leader. You know what? Because that person is held accountable. Nobody's holding me accountable.
How can your will be done when it's not being done by you?
Because because you can, the people you get into office, their vision, if you have true vision, you can show people what they need to do that is better for their people, and if they carry it out, your will has been done already. And if you have the money, a person like Tinubu, personally, if I were him, I would retire into that kind of space, because he knows Nigerian politics. But one thing that he said yesterday that betrays some of the narrative that I really don't like our leaders having is that when he start talking about North, South, this, that, when you start doing that kind of stuff, you are being divisive now. You are making it so that everybody thinks the North is separate from you, but we are all suffering. We are all in the same boat. The North is just as brainwashed as the South. We have all been conditioned to see each other as separate, and it has weakened us as a nation, and solutions are hardly arrived at. The reason why most people hated those this in OKADA, or no, I wouldn't say hate, they wanted the OKADA people out because they just feel like it's not one of their people. This is the kind of mentality that leads to disintegration of nations. We are being conditioned here. And our people, we have to understand that those houses we see in the north.
I have a question for Tunaija.
Go ahead.
All right, but Eto has
Sorry
this
about that. I
flaw,
think I've
but
gone on a bit too much, actually.
answer Baba Kure's question very quickly so that we can get back to Eto. Yeah.
He just make a very vital point there, so I have to counter him anyway. So now, do you think they banned OKADA because of ethnicity or because of the criminality that is involving in it right now than the way when OKADA first started? You can remember that somebody was burnt down in somewhere in Lekki about 2 months ago. And these people are Fulani, Hausa Fulani, that burned this person down just because he was trying to settle matters. So what do you say to that?
No, the reason why they ban OKADA is because it's not a viable form of a civilized state. That's the main reason. But the reason why I don't heard here today on the panel, most of them were saying, "Oh, they are not our people anyway. They should chuck them out." You see what I mean? They are not our people anyway. Let's chuck them out. That kind of statement is what I'm saying here. We've all been conditioned to see each other as different, and it's not getting us anywhere. When the Oyibo people came to this country and they went to Lagos first, a Yoruba man was on the boat. A Yoruba chief was on the boat because he wants to be leader of his town. So he brought Oyibo people to come and destroy Lagos. From there, they came into our country. This type of attitude where we feel like we have to be entitled to something and then we destroy anything to get it. We don't care the penalties we are inflicting on our people, the general population. It needs to stop.
To Niger, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. But those people have to rent houses. They have to rent an apartment. You don't just move like goats, you know?
All right. Let's for reasons of time, let's get back to Echo, who has the floor. So Echo, you were speaking about Aregbesola stabbing Tinubu in the back. So that's where you were when go on.
What I expected of Tinubu, if he really wants to lead, is for him to come forward to let us know, I understand the plight of the Nigeria. I have the solution. Give me the opportunity. But not coming out to the space to tell us of his entitlement and who he has helped to come into power. Those people you have even helped to come into power, how much have they really done for their various states? And is he proud now to say that he's the one who bring Buhari into power? What has Buhari leadership brought into our space as a nation? So these are just so painful when you hear people who are supposed to be leading us talking of entitlement as at this time. We are in the stage, we are in a mess. We are in a stage where we need good leadership to come out of this. We are in a stage where our youth have no tomorrow. The children does not know. How many children have dropped out of school? More are still joining. As at when Buhari enter into power, I understand that 30 million children are out of school. Right now, they are talking about 18 million. Is that an improvement or backwardness? So these are not I'm not looking for an entitled leader. I am looking for a leader who will work with Nigeria to change our narrative. Full stop.
All right, thank you. Well put, H.O. And I don't think too many people can disagree with that. So with your permission, H.O., and for reasons of time, I want to go on to Baba Kure, who I tried to go to earlier, but I think is now with us. But before I go to Baba Kure, let me acknowledge the super chats that have been coming in. No other person than Alexander Gomez, of course. He says first, well said, my dear sister, H.O. So, of course, anytime that you come to speak, HO, people delight in hearing from your voice. And no less a person than Alexander Gomez, he especially delights in hearing from you. Well said, my dear sister, HO. So that's Alexander Gomez's seal of approval right there.
Thank you, my brother.
He continues with the super chat, Alexander, and this is to the Solly space. He says, why is Solly unfairly attacked for having an opinion? So so it's not so much for him having an opinion, but somewhat trying to ethnicize what Tunaja was saying, which was not at all ethnic. So that ethnic tonality is somewhat we want to pit it down a bit as well. Why is Solly's why is Solly unfairly attacked for having an opinion? So thank you for the super chat, Alexander Gomez. So from Alexander Gomez, we go to a man of equal might, Baba Akure. So Baba Akure, that OKADA space, of course. I wasn't sure. I'm surprised that opinions are so divided on that OKADA space, because I thought it would be unanimous that they should weigh heavily and forcefully and aggressively against these people and see them quickly off the streets of Lagos and put them on the bus back to Borno, Kebbi, Chad, Niger, and wave them goodbye. But that doesn't seem to be the popular consensus. Baba Akure, the OKADA rider have legal rights too. What says you?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. And to me, I don't think it is issue of tribal sentiment here. OKADA rider has been one of the means of transportation for so many years all over Nigeria, particularly Southwest. It is just that these days the criminality is something something that we cannot write so many things, but the criminality that involved right now. To me, I don't believe the state government is banning OKADA just because of some people are from the northern part of Nigeria or Fulani or Hausa. We have a lot of Yoruba, even a lot of graduates that are riding OKADA in Lagos State. But the fact is that what really make it to the tipping point was that of issue of banning somebody, the same OKADA. That was about 2 months ago, or thereabout. When somebody trying to separate some dispute, I mean to settle some dispute, based on the information I heard anyway, I don't know. I think it was last month when Deborah was burned to death. It was second day. The same thing happened. And who are these perpetrator? They are Hausa Fulani that riding OKADA in Lagos. And we've been seeing this so many times. We saw a video clip where they overpower police force. So this is not our behaviors. So when we try to put tribalism and things like this, I think we should desist from that, because it is not only Hausa or Fulani riding OKADA in Lagos. If they ban everybody, if they ban OKADA rider, it's not going to affect Hausa Fulani alone. It's going to affect Yoruba. It's going to affect Igbo. It's going to affect graduates. It's going to affect the undergraduates. So let's just put issue of tribal sentiment out of this matter. What brought it out is for government to clamp down on them or to ban them is the issue of criminal activity that is involving. And when you investigate who are the major people that is committing this crime, they are the same people that we are saying that they want to send them back home because they are Hausa and Fulani. We have a lot of Hausa and Fulani doing legitimate job legitimate work in Lagos. They didn't send them back home. So we should not call on this issue of OKADA as it is we against them. No, that is my take on that.
I mean, we are not sending back the Mesuyas, are we? So the Mesuyas can carry on,
Exactly. Exactly. We have a lot of Hausa Fulani that is a gate man in Lagos. They didn't send them home. We have a lot of them Suya. We didn't send them home. We have a lot of them selling orange sugarcane and stuff like that. Even polishing your shoe or even sew your shoe for you. They didn't send them back home.
Or sewing agbada as well.
Exactly, but the criminality that is involving, how can you support how can you in this world, how can you say that because somebody settles dispute and you just think that you just light him up, you burn him, and you think that it should be accepted because they are Fulani and Hausa, because they have for every power. So we should just
sorry. it's just really for time. Do you think, Baba Kore, the idea that these people should be made to go through some, especially people coming from the north, that they should be made to go through some orientation program before they are allowed to settle into Lagos, just to, maybe not civilize them, but orient them in the ways that Lagos runs? Should they be made to go to some orientation program?
Well, it is a very good idea, but it's not going to work. And the reason why it's not going to work is that it is still go back to the issue of our constitution, because you cannot. If I go to northern part of Nigeria, they are not going to force me to. Though I know that some of them also do that, like they want to behave the way they do. But if our constitution, the constitution is the problem, that will not allow this thing to happen. Let's say we have a regional government. That, okay, well, if I'm going to Southeast, this is how they behave over there. So then there will be a department that will, okay, when you come, they will orientate you. This is what you cannot do here. If you do this, this is the consequence. But this constitution that join everybody together and it is supreme, it is supreme. Nobody can do anything. It is we've been anchored to the central. So that won't make it work. It's a very good idea anyway, because when you go to a place, maybe you move from let's say from one country to another country, there is a department that will orientate you.
If you go to Germany, they will put you in a camp. Before they let you into their community, they'll put you in a camp.
Even here in Canada, okay, like what I do right now, I work with youth, and most of them are immigrants. I tell them, okay, well, this is what you cannot do. This is what you can do. The way you behave back home is different from here. So you give them idea of what to be expecting and what they should not do, so that you will involve in police custody. So when you give them that idea, they already know, okay, this is how I have to move. This is where I can go. This is what I cannot do. There's so many things that you believe that, okay, you are doing back home. It is taken for granted, like levity hand. It is different from here. So you have to behave yourself. So they used to that. So, but our constitution is the problem. If we can get our constitution organized, the issue of somebody is burning somebody because it's settled dispute, because they believe that they are in power, they can do or not do. But if we get that constitution, if we get it working and everybody know their boundary, then it will be much more easier for you to have something like that nature that will cancel people when they are moving to your shore. You can cancel them. You can tell them, this is how we behave here. If you're not, then you have to go home. So that is my take on that.
All right, brilliant. Well put, Baba Kore. So, Baba Kore, let me go on so that I make sure I touch as many voices before we shut down the session. And let's go on then to Bia and have Bia speak on the promotion of the erstwhile EFCC CZAR that was suspended for reasons of corruption and now promoted to an Assistant Inspector General of Police. Crime and punishment in Nigeria. Bia.
That is a political disaster and sacrilege that should never had happened. I wonder if the person was from, obviously, like we all know, Nigerian politics is a tribal hemisphere. So for that to happen, it is not good at all for anyone. So that calls for disdain.
All right, thank you, Bia. So from Bia, let me go on to I think I've been to Solly. So let's go to Thomas. Thomas, are you still there? All right, we don't have Thomas. So let's go to World Peace then and have World Peace speak on what seems to be the subsisting narrative, which is the one about the OKADA space. So World Peace, the OKADA space, your thoughts?
Yeah, the OKADA space of a thing. I support banning them. I don't have to use many languages. Banning them is the first solution to the problem, because there's no way you can go around it. There's no other solution. The first solution is to ban them. And second solution is banning them. And the third solution, and still ban them. That I say. They did the same thing in Abuja recently. They went to somebody's estate and burned it down. They mobilized themselves and went down and burned it down because of some dispute they have. That was just like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So these people are getting too empowered, So that I see one man.
All right, brilliant. And very briefly on the Aregbesola stabbing of Tinubu in the back. But before you go to that, let me acknowledge Alexander Gomez's super chat that speaks to that space that you just left. It says, like Soludo says, landlords should not, like Soludo says, landlords should not their tenants
should know their
tenants. So landlords should know their tenants. So that's what Soludo says. Landlords should know their tenants. So this is what Alexander is contributing to that conversation. Thank you for the super chat, Alexander. So essentially that you can't just come from undocumented or no fixed abode, unknown, no history in the place, purporting to be earning legitimate means, but in the covers of the dark, just a savage. So we don't want savagery in Yoruba land, essentially, but to the Akérèdọ́lù space, world peace.
Or savagery in anywhere else in Nigeria at all.
No, well, we have to concern ourselves with our own space.
Everywhere, my dad. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that Arigbotola Tinubu, he has been on for a while. He has been having this back and cat and dog fight. So actually, it's a start to Tinubu anyway. If you see from the Tinubu perspective and the way he has been laying his policy and bringing up his people, all these people are supposed to fall in line for him. When it comes to the South, then we will start playing. I know what you know, which is wrong. At least, like for once, I was supposed to. We are supposed to fall in line like the Northern and line up with Tinubu right now for just this North and South ticket that is trying to come up. At least let us see us that in front we are united. Whatever differences that Igbusola have, that guy no go, they should calm down first and stop this betrayal thing. Let's try to be united behind one person first. I don't know if I'm making a point to you, one man.
Yes, you are. A lot of people are saying it is this space of betrayal that will ultimately cost the Yorubas the ticket if they don't get it. If they don't get it, then it will be entirely down to that that betrayal, that not wanting to give way for another, that they will use as a means of maneuvering them out of play. So Al-Shabaab very strong in the play. Tinubu still holding his position. They are trying to permutate with different names, but if they don't show a united front, that could ultimately cost them that ticket.
Yes, yeah, true. It would crumble. A divided house would not stand. How they say, divided house would not stand among itself or something like that. First of all, they should keep all sentiments aside first. We should keep all sentiments aside first and unite. If it's Osinbajo, let's unite. If it's Tinubu, let's unite. Let's drop these sentiments first. We can talk about that later after the presidency.
Or even Peter Obi, let's unite. Doesn't matter. South.
Yes,
South.
anybody should unite. First of all, this South thing or South policy, we are really messing up. We should say the truth. We are messing up. This is not the time to trash who did what or would not do this. First of all, let's unite against one person first, so that the North will see us as we are serious. But we've been divided, trying to solve issue in the middle of a battle. It will not help us. It will not help the Yorubas. Rather, we help the Igbos. We the South, we have nobody in that space. We will be looking helplessly. We will not help anybody at all. And the Fulanis will take the space. That's how I see it.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So well put, well peace, and well put, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a real pleasure to be able to say ladies and gentlemen now, because usually it's just testosterone bouncing off the screens, usually. But now HO has decided to brave the deep waters alongside BR. So we can now say ladies and gentlemen. So
BR, see my face. If you long want to see my face, right? You can see it now.
My God. Was that what waiting for? Was that what waiting for? Eh?
Okay.
Please make sure no children are watching the screen. No, we don't want you have to be consoling.
All right, nice to see you.
Look at that.
Yeah, see my face.
Edo man. Eh? Okay. So they are all auditioning for Bia now. So Bia, you get to pick from Baba Akure to look at that. Look at this.
Zero.
Zero, my bro.
Zero. We are talking about fine boys.
Look at that.
Okay.
Okay. So Bia, that's your pick then. Baba Akure F0 award piece. So there it is. The verdict. The verdict.
I think we should be using cameras, woman, so that we know who is contributing to this platform.
You know, I encourage people to use cameras, but because I had opened the window for them not to, so people are now holding me to that. But every other space that I see, everybody, they don't allow them on without their cameras. So maybe I'll be enforcing that.
The advantage of not using camera is that people are able to speak more freely. I think. It has to, because sometimes
you have to be able to stand by your words now. You have to stand by your words.
Otherwise, you're not going to hear from people that have something to lose in the real world. If they go and say
people that are shy,
have something to lose now. So it's a sacrificial life. The one that Buhari can gone down. The one that Buhari can gone down.
One man. They are afraid of being picking. They are afraid of being picking up at Salam Mohammed Airport.
Yes, or rendition. They don't want to be rendition.
Anyways, me, I don't mind showing up in front of camera anywhere because I'm into business. So maybe one day investors will come from all over the world. Okay, so watch this space, darlings.
Yeah. So to Niger, I agree to Eguator.
Eguator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's actually so they want to turn it to. I'm not very good at it.
You're from Edison, right? Sorry.
No. I'm not directly from Benin. I'm just close to Benin, the Agbo area.
Then why are you using the Queen said? Why are you using the Queen said?
It's an avatar. Don't take it personal.
It's like Queen said. It's a king. I think it's NY said.
After all, Agbo does have this that uses the same kind of.
Okay. There's only one way to find out. So to Niger, Oba Atokwe.
It's
man. That's the thing. Oba Atokwe. You know, the king. What does that mean, by the way, about Tokwe?
He said, "Long live the king."
Long live the king. Live the king. So long live the king and long live the platform. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We leave it there and peace. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Baba.
Carry the conversation. Bye,
everybody. Cheers.